Hello, my name is Ziv Rozenblum. I am the founder and CEO of Ekotrope. I am very excited to present here today from two key reasons. The first is because we are a Boston-based company and I don't get a lot of opportunities to present at our home court. The second is that this is actually one of the first times I have to present our new NEHERS rating tool to such a forum. So let's start. I am going to start my presentation today by telling you about Ekotrope, how we started, what we are trying to achieve, and what kind of milestones we had to pass in order to present to you today. From there, I will elaborate about our NEHERS rating product and give a demo. After that, I will talk about the larger picture. These are the other opportunities that exist for NEHERS raters and providers using our suite of products. Ekotrope is the brainchild of my partner Edward Crowley, who founded Ekotrope. Ed was the head of the aeronautic department at MIT. Through his research, he developed a very cool technology to assist NASA in designing spaceships. With his decision support tools, NASA could make better selection of components, resulting in spaceships that cost less and do much more at the same time. Now, about 7 years ago, Ed was building a house in Idaho. He wanted to make it energy efficient, but also make it cost effective. He simply wanted to make the investment in energy efficiency to pay back in the best way. Unfortunately, neither his architect, builder, or NEHERS rater could tell him how to do it. They could tell him about specific options he has for windows, walls, insulation, mechanical equipment, etc. But they could not tell him which combination of these elements will provide the best performance for the best price. This got Ed frustrated because he was doing exactly that for NASA. So Ed sat down and adjusted his NASA software for his own house. And this is how we started. This was 2010. Ekotrope today is a software company. We are a cloud-based company, meaning that you access our product over the web. No need for any installation on your end device. We run our own hourly based simulation to do energy analysis, and we are certified NEHERS software as well as ICC and Energy Start compliant. Now, our main target until recently was builders. We created two products for builders. The first is the Design Optimizer. The goal is to allow builders to make the best design choices for their energy-related components. It means that with Ekotrope, they can not only meet code, but find the best set of components that will get them to their goal in the most cost-effective way. The second product is called the True Cost of Ownership. It helps builders with another key problem they have, selling their energy-efficient homes. As you know, in the last 5 to 10 years, home became much more energy efficient. The problem is that this makes homes much more expensive. And builders are struggling with finding ways to justify $50,000, $70,000, and even $100,000 price premiums relative to 10-year-old homes that might be the homes next door. With the True Cost of Ownership tool, they can show home buyers that while they need to pay a premium in their mortgage, when incorporating energy costs and maintenance, the monthly spending on the new house is in most cases cheaper. Now, we are working with some of the largest builders in the US. We are doing projects in all sizes, from a single houses to full divisions for top builders in the US like Lennar and David Weekley Homes. Throughout our work with builders, we got exposed to the NEHERS rating community. Sometimes we were trying to do the same things, and sometimes we were just complementing one another. What we recently realized is that we have an opportunity here, and that is going to be a win-win for all sides, and that led us to drop our existing strategy and adopt a new one. We are now looking for a stronger integration with NEHERS raters and providers. And this is because we identified two key things. The first is that the NEHERS raters don't have good enough tools to do their job. The existing tools are outdated, inefficient, and literally stop you from expanding your business. The second is that NEHERS raters are great people to work with, and they already have the connections in place with builders, which could take us years to build. So, we decided to partner with NEHERS raters and providers. The first thing we are doing these days is expanding our functionality. We provide you, the NEHERS raters providers, with a better NEHERS rating product. And second, we want to use that as a base and allow you guys to expand the rating functionality to provide the advanced features, which is the optimization and TCO. This way, we, Ekotrope, can focus on doing what we do best, which is to create energy efficiency software, and allow you guys to have better tools, expand your functionality, and offer more services to builders. So, in the last year, we focused on creating a NEHERS rating software. We already had the NEHERS rating engine, but we had to build the user interface and processes. But we wanted the industry to tell us how to do so. So toward this end, we created a consortium with some of the leading names in the industry. Companies like Energy Logic, the Bear, and IBS Advisors, which is the company of Brad Dillon, as well as Rob Solcido. This guy told us exactly what we have to deliver from the user's perspective, how it should look, and how it should function. And we listened, and we did exactly what they asked us. And the new NEHERS rating tool is now in beta. It receives really great feedback, and is going to be released in June. Now, our strategy has three key pillars. The first is to allow you to better pursue your passion for energy efficiency. We want to achieve that by reducing the administrative work that none of us like. Data entry, or even worse, double data entry. Library management, sending files back and forth to your QA person, etc. The second pillar is to allow you to increase your impact on builders, allow you to become a more significant member of the design and implementation team, and offer more value to your clients. More specifically, we want to allow you to offer to builders a more measurable value, so builders can actually measure your impact. Lastly, we want you to make more money, simply because we want to make more money ourselves. More specifically, these are the things that we are focusing on in our development process. First, we know that you guys are working in a very dynamic environment, and we want to provide you with the changes you need in a matter of days, not months. So if code changes and you need a new report, you cannot wait 3 months for an upgrade or an update. And we also want to provide you with automatic updates, so you don't need to reinstall the product every time. We also want to reduce the overhead as much as we can. And here are a few examples. We want to minimize the time you work with libraries on search and maintenance, etc. We want to minimize the time you spend on sending files back and forth, for example, for your QA provider. We want to minimize the time you spend on data entry and double data entry. And we also want to minimize the time you spend on printing and signing all these dozens of documents every time you have a big job. Another thing we want to do, we want to allow your NEHERS rating tool to speak with other 21st century systems like Dash, Access, or any other IT system. So your entire process is streamlined. And we also want to allow you to access Ekotrope from any system anywhere. So you do not need to get to the office to enter takeoffs or update a plan. With Ekotrope, you can access the system from anywhere, as long as you have a browser. And on top of all of that, we want to build a system that is cost effective. So you can get, from Ekotrope, you can get a better product for a better price. With that, I want to go to the demo. Now, the first thing that I want to show you is that this is a web-based product. This is important for a few key reasons. The first is that no installation is needed on your end. All you need is a browser. Second, you can run it from any device. And third, upgrades are done automatically in the background. This means that you do not need to wait for us to send you a new version every time code changes or we add a new report. Simply, the next time you log in, the reports will be there. Now, let's log in. This is your main project screen. We're constantly working on this screen, as we know that today it can be a nightmare to sort between all the files you have scattered around, maybe in folders and different computers, etc. A lot of stuff over here, but I want to show you one cool feature that I personally like, which is our search mechanism. Let's assume you're a QA person. You want to look for files that was recently submitted for QA for builder ABC, or it's got ABC in their name. So we go, we say status QA, submit to QA, builder, let's say it's got ABC. Voila. You got the builders you were looking for, and you can start doing your QA very quickly. Now let's think of a use case. Assuming you're a rater, you're entering a project for the first time. A new project. Assume it's it's in North Street in Brookline. 140 North Street. 2467. 2,500 square feet. Okay. So you fill in the basic information, and the system takes the first guess at filling in all the rest. And now it takes you to the project page. Here there are 4 sections. The first, over here, is the general project part. Here you add photo or photos of the project, you enter data on utility prices, etc. The second is the building design section. This is like a sandbox for all your variations on the project. You can easily store here your different options for quick and easy restore or comparison. The third is the component library. Here all your organization components exist. We are actively working with our partners to improve the experience working with components. We want to make it more intuitive to understand, easier to search, and also reduce the amount of errors it causes because of lack of alignment in the components library across your organization. Basically, we want to move it to the 21st century. The last part, this is where the magic happens. This is where you analyze plans to make sure they meet energy goals, send to QA, and submit to registry. So let's start. Let's go back to the use case. Again, you are the raters, And the next thing you want to do is just enter the takeoffs. So you go to that initial plan, you press edit, and the system takes you to a screen where you can start entering data. The fields that you will see over here are pretty similar to the ones you already got used to, simply because this is a ResNet requirement. Still, we made navigation easier. You can move between sections because of the tabular format that we have. So we can jump between sections. Let's say you want to go into your infiltration, you just press the tab and you are there. You don't need to move between, the tabs one after the other, saving you a lot of clicks. Now, to move fast, let's assume you enter the takeoff data, you store it, and you go back to your project. Now, assuming you are looking to suggest a more energy efficient version that you want to present to your builder, you want to look at the potential 2x6 wall that you are thinking about. So you go to your wall section, and you see that you do have a 2x6 option. You look at that. You like the way it looks. You might look at different component, maybe add a component, move a component around, but you like the way it looks right now. So you go back to your project. And you create a new design. Let's call it more energy efficient. You go to that design, go to the envelope layer, you look at the wall system, you change it to the 2x6 option. You just want to check what's going to be the impact. So you look at our quick results section, and which will tell you how it's going to change your NEHERS score as well as energy cost. You see it's going to reduce NEHERS by 7 points, reduce the utility bill, the annual utility bill, but by $1,400. You like it, so you save it. Now you're gonna have a new design to compare and show to your builder. You might present it to the builder and he still likes the old version. So let's continue with the old version. But before you move on, you want to make sure that the plan meets the needed code. In this case, let's say it's ICC 2015 performance. So you go to this design and you want to analyze it. Now here, based on the zip code, the system will present only the relevant reports to this area of the country. Now, you do not need to print the report to know if you meet code or not. In this section over here, you can figure out what are the problems if you have a problem. So let's go ICC 2015 prescriptive. You can see you have a red exclamation mark next to it, meaning that you don't meet this code and you want to know why. So you press the small triangle and it will give you a list of what are the problems. For example, ACH 50 should be 3, not 5. So you can go back and fix what needs to be fixed. I'm not going to make the fixes now just to save time. Just wanted to show you that. And I do want to show you something else. Assuming you want to send a report to a builder. So you go to print report, you select the report that you want to print, press OK, and you get the report. Now, you don't need to make a PDF, store on your machine, and then only send an email. Of course, you can still do that if you want, but we do have an option that will save you a lot of clicks, a lot of time. You can email directly from it in Ekotrope. So you see the report. If you like it, you just press email PDF and you can send it to your client. Now let's try sending it. You got an error message. The reason you got an error message is because we have an optional mechanism that some of our providers ask for, which is the need to register a project before you can start printing reports. So to register a project, you go back to the project, you press register with provider, and that you registered with your provider. It can track the creation of that project. And now you can send this report to your client. Let's send this report to me directly. So let's print a report, the building summary report. And send it directly to me. Assuming I am the builder. Great. Now, the last thing I want to speak about is the QA process, which we are very proud about. So let's assume you're happy with the project and you're ready to submit to QA. You can press this button and two things will happen. Now, let's take the initial house design and submit it. Now, two things will happen. First, we will apply our optional automatic QA check to verify that there are no kind of easy to identify errors. For example, we can calculate the wall height. We take it from the volume and the area and figure out what's the wall height, and we want to make sure it's within kind of the a range that makes sense. The second thing is that as soon as you submit to QA, your QA person, which you identified when you started the to work with the system, will have the plan in his queue, and he can check it and submit to registry. You don't need to send all these files back and forth. Everything is automatic. Now, one thing that I want to emphasize on the QA process is that it's very dynamic. It means that we can easily adapt to your specific organization processes. For example, you might want to allow raters to submit directly to registry now that you have the automatic QA process. With all that flexibility embedded, some of our beta users indicated to us that they could cut their QA process by almost 50%, which we found to be very significant. Now, this was a quick overview of the rating tool. I want to go back to the presentation. If what you see interests you, we would love to hear from you. We can just add you to our mailing list, or if you can't wait to get your hands on this product, we might have a solution for you. We have what we call the Early Access Program. In the first few months after release, we will be adding a small number of providers and raters every month to use Ekotrope. This will allow us to maintain the personal touch and will allow new users to help us keep improving the product. If you'd like to take part of that, contact us. With that, I want to move to talk about the bigger picture. What other opportunities exist for raters and providers through Ekotrope? To do so, I would like to start talking about our grand vision. What we think is achievable with the help of the right technology. So a given fact is that the construction industry is spending trillions of dollars on energy efficiency. It can be builders building energy efficient homes, home buyers doing energy retrofits, parts manufacturers designing and making more energy efficient components, or utilities allocating funds to energy efficiency. Unfortunately, these people that make these decisions don't have the proper tools to guide their decisions. For example, how can I build to ICC 2015 code in the most cost-effective way? What is the energy upgrade that will give me the best payback, etc. The second problem is that even when these decisions are made, the builder or the parts manufacturer or even the utility, and they are stuck. This is because they cannot explain to their buyers the value of this energy efficiency improvements. So they are stuck with the bill. Because the buyer is not willing to pay a premium. For example, how many times did you hear that builders cannot justify a premium for Energy Star or net zero homes? What Ekotrope does is creating a platform to answer all these needs. It uses the power of analytics and large data to provide decision makers with the tools to make better decisions. And then for salespeople, with tools that will help them sell these projects in the right price. And this presents an opportunity for you. And let me explain why. We already talked about the NEHERS rating tool. Let's talk about our other two products. The design optimizer helps people make the right design choices, and the TCO tool helps them sell homes. Let's start with the design optimizer. I will explain how it works through an example. Let's assume you work with a builder. He might have a few dozen base plans for a division and might build 1 to 10 homes out of each plan. Now, from economy of scale considerations, this builder likes to maintain the same spec for the energy related components, which are the windows, wall, insulation, mechanical equipment, maybe PV. When you analyze it, you see that this spec has a cost, which we measure on the x-axis, and a performance, which we measure on the y-axis. Now, performance can be energy consumption, it might be hertz points, lead points, etc. But code that just changed, and the current spec does not meet it. That does not meet code anymore. What most builders will do, with your help or without it, is to upgrade one or more components to meet the code. It might be more insulation, better mechanical equipment, maybe a combination. And this will cost them more money. Now, is this the only option? Of course not. There are many available solutions. Many other window options, wall options, maybe insulation, mechanical equipment, and others. This creates thousands of different permutations, different ways to build the same houses. Right? Because you can use the second wall with the fourth roof type, etc. And when you make all these combinations, this is what you get. That's what Ekotrope does. Think about it like a rating tool on steroids, building thousands of different options in a matter of minutes. And what it does, it allows the builder to make better decisions. Some builders will choose to do what we call go down, meaning that they would like to maintain the same amount of spending on their homes, just make it much more energy efficient. We get the marketing benefits. Others will want to move to the left, which means they want to be able to meet code for the most cost-effective price. In most cases, they can actually reduce price and meet code in the same time. This is, by the way, real life example. And some people will want to do, a combination. Every builder is different. And we provide you with the tools not only to analyze all the options, but also to present it in a very clear way that will help your builders make the right decision for them. And when they do that, they can measure the impact that you guys made. With that, I want to move to the demo of our optimization tool. So to demonstrate the optimization product, I logged in as a different user. This time, this user have the optimization permissions. You can see the product looks pretty much the same, but there are a couple of elements that I want to discuss before I show you how the optimization project is done. The first thing is that once you go into the components library, you can see that a new column was added, which is the cost. In the wall case, it's a cost per square footage of that specific wall system, so we can run our trade-off analysis. The other thing I want to emphasize that there is an incentive section. This is where you had the different utility incentives, government incentives, tax incentives, because the idea is that with some investment you can get to incentive, and you want to optimize that. You want to select, for example, the $1,000 incentives, but not invest $1,700 in getting to that incentive. So you want to have that as part of the process. There are new action buttons over here that you can see, and I'm just go into variations, and let's look at select this one, for example. And what's going to happen now is that the system will allow me to select different set of components to add to the project. Those are elements that the builder can consider in building that community or that specific plan. And you can see there are different roof options, couple of above grade options, glazing, and others, again according to what the user selected. So let's take this one out. It says interesting, and let it run. What the system is doing right now is actually virtually building these plans with all these different options, all the permutations. There are almost 700 different ways to build exactly the same set of homes. And the system does it, right? Builds this complete set virtually and run it on our servers on an hourly based simulation for a full year. So at the end of this process, we will see how these things behave. Now, just to save time, I reran this optimization, and this is what we get. You can see the cost of the energy related components on the x-axis, and you can see the performance on the y-axis. You can make it energy bill, you can make it NEHERS, you can make it lead, what have you. Now there are a couple of interesting things we can do that. My personal favorite is the highlight report. So you can, for example, say, let's see how the above grade wall affect the result. You can see the highlight plan. You can see that the blue walls, which is the 2x4 R13, is actually cost less, but the performance is a little bit not as good as the one you can get with the green one, which is the 2x4 with 3/4 of an inch of RMAX. But you can also see that the 2x4 with the RMAX actually in most cases performs almost as well as the 2x6, but just cost less. It's very interesting analysis. Another analysis that I like is to see the buffer. Sometimes you want to see which plan gives you some buffer relative to ICC 2015 in that case. You don't want to be on the code. Sometimes you want to give some buffer to your builder, and this report will show you the percent buffer you get. Let's remove the highlight and just say assume that this builder just wants to meet the 2015 ICC. So let's find all the options. The system will filter, and naturally this is the easiest way to meet ICC, the most cost effective way to meet ICC 2015. You can see the list of components. Let's store it, call it most cost effective way to meet IECC 2015. Great. Now you see we got a star. We might say, we have a way maybe to get some, 3 health points. Let's check this one. We like the components. Let's favorite it and call it NEHERS 49. Okay, great. Let's go back. We love it. This is one. Second. Okay, great. There are many other options here. I'm not gonna go through all of them. Let's go back to project. But what you can see, you got those 2 designs in your sandbox. So let's compare the 2. And of course you can select more and compare more options. Just focus on a couple of options. And you can see you have the most cost-effective way to meet ICC 2015, and there is the one with the 49 Hz points, and you can start comparing them. You can see that the health score. I'm going to touch on that in a second. You're going to see that how much money you're going to save over 30 years life cycle, how much it's going to cost, what's going to be the mortgage just for these components, etc. You can see the different components in each plan, and you can see highlighted what are the items that we were changing between the plans, so you can start figuring out what it means to go between one option to the other. So we have the above grade wall, the air sealing. Those are the things we change. You can of course compare the 2, and you can see that it actually doesn't make sense from the home buyer's perspective to go into that option because it's all in the red. So maybe the option just show you is not the best one. So that's kind of the high level. There are tons of other things. We can do the same thing just for entire community, entire division for builders, and there are many other things. Just wanted to give you the highlight of this of what this product can do. Now, the last product I want to talk about is the true cost of ownership. We worked with builders. We helped them design, select the designs for their homes, but they have the problem of how to sell these energy efficient homes, because the key problem they have is that their homes cost more. They definitely cost more than used homes that were built 10 years ago for different codes, and sometimes if they want to exceed code, it costs more than just meeting code homes. And the problem is that most buyers today buy based on purchase price, but that's how they run their homes, their monthly spending. We run our monthly spending by looking at how much we spend, which is the mortgage cost, the maintenance cost, and the energy cost. And when we incorporate these features, these costs into one lump sum, you discover something amazing. In most cases, a new home that might cost, let's say in that example, $50,000 more, will actually cost less on a monthly spending than a used home. You get a better house, everything is new, you can affect design, and you still pay less on a monthly basis. This is amazing. We did a lot of market research. Went to ask home buyers, and we discovered that a lot of people change their mind when they are exposed to TCO. For example, in this study, we looked at several hundred home buyers representing different segments of the population. People we present with a couple of home options, and before we presented TCO, 59% preferred new homes. When we presented TCO options for the same homes, the percent of people preferring new homes versus used ones jumped to 90%. Think about the impact it can make on your clients, on the builders. So for that purpose, we created our TCO solution, which is a product that can be used on a touchscreen panel, on an iPad, on a laptop. Some builders use it on their website, just as a way to demonstrate to homebuyers a very personalized analysis of how much a house costs, and the new house cost for that builder relative to other options they consider. It might be other used homes, or it might be new homes that just meet code. And let me show you how it looks. So when you look to the TCO product, this is what you get. Again, this is a web-based product. You can access it from any browser and use it on iPad, laptop, desktop, even touchscreen, or even put it on your website. We have clients that do that. The idea here again is that you want to showcase home buyers the value of your energy efficient homes. You can do it against other new homes around you, or maybe against used homes in your environment, in your neighborhood. So for that specific use case, we uploaded the plans of that builder in that community to the system. The user can select this floor plan that interests them. Let's take Jerry. It's 2,140 square foot to $266,000. Let's compare it to a 20-year-old house, slightly bigger, and make this house cost $50,000 less. Right, we are talking about $50,000. This is about 20%, over 20% more expensive home to buy a new house. We look at the mortgage, maybe it's a bit high, just reduces a little bit. And we run the analysis. What we can see over here is that the used house, which is the second house, just to remind you, $50,000 cheaper house actually costs more on a monthly basis. It's true that you're going to pay more on mortgage and taxes and insurance, but you can pay significantly less on energy and on maintenance. Combined together, this is a cheaper house. Now, how we know that? We can calculate energy because of Ekotrope. Mortgage, taxes, and insurance, we can calculate that as well. There are databases where we can get our numbers. And we use census data that we reverse engineered in order to figure out the cost of used homes at every zip code in the US that also exists in our database. Now, this is a very powerful thing to show home buyers, as a builder, as a salesperson. It changes people's perspective. Suddenly they understand that they can get this new house that they like so much, and it's actually the right economics decision to do. A builder or salesperson that do that can not only show the numbers, it can also use this system as a lead generator, because some people really like it. So you say, oh, send me the results. Great, let's send the results. Again, let's send it to me. Now this builder captured my information and can do follow-ups, which is a great thing for builders. That's it. I hope that by now we got you excited and interested in the opportunities that we present, allowing you to better pursue your passion for energy efficiency, allowing you to provide more value to your builders, and help you make more money. If you are, I would be very interested in hearing from you guys. Thank you very much.